Content is being sent to a third party.
Woo-hoo.
Hey,
My cat is in the box.
I think we are there and we are live.
On our way. Yay! Hello there, everyone, and welcome to our very first Project Kin and Journeys into Genealogy live broadcast. It's a thrill. We're still finding our way, finding our roots, finding our way around doing all of this. But until we figure out some of the subtle details here, we'll have this down. I need to turn off my, there we go, so I don't get too much noise, and we are live. Emma, thank you so much for braving this with me. It is a first time for every technology, and let's face it, it takes a little bit of gulp. Let's just do this thing. And gulp, let's just do this thing is kind of the ethos of everything we're doing here. Honestly, I do that not out of courage, but out of a belief in, this technology we've been playing with for the last 30 years or so. And there's a little bit of, hey, what can go wrong? I might embarrass myself, but I've done that. And once you've done that, you realize that in embarrassing yourself, you're giving other people courage. And frankly, in a lot of what we do for family history, that's kind of what we're doing. We're sticking ourselves out there and saying what we believe and knowing that our ancestors may, our descendants may very well read all this and say, what were they thinking? At least that's how I feel. So, Emma, it's a delight to have you. And I wanted to step into all of this to explore, talk a little bit about what you're going to be talking about this month. You and I had a conversation and you started sharing it with me, and we said, you know what, let's just do this. So tell me, what's coming this month on our Emma Explores program on November 21st, 10 a.m. Pacific?
Really looking forward to this one, Barbara. And it's a little bit different. So I've been thinking some of the topics I've done, I could do more on those, but I thought I'm going to do something a little bit different today or next week when this actually goes out. So I'm going to be talking about actors and people in the theatre, and there's going to be Hollywood. Yeah, there's definitely a couple of Hollywood connections that I can bring out to things. So I've been doing some digging into my twig, and I was thinking, I know there's an actor, and I know there's more than one actor, and it's like, where is that one? And so I've found probably 4 or 5 so far, and I think there might be others. And I'm busy trying to find out what they did and the sort of things they actually took part in. Some of them were the theatre, some of them were television, and some I've even got a Hollywood director. So yeah, and there's a name called Hercules, and a connection to Ernest Hemingway, and there's a connection to Roman Polanski.
Wow.
So there's all sorts of different people in there. So yeah, some interesting people. And it's like I didn't know some of these things, and looking up. That's one of the things I really enjoy about doing these talks is that it makes me explore more about the people I'm talking about. And I find things like an obituary. I find somebody mentioning it, and I found something about there's a connection to Catherine Deneuve and all sorts of different things. And one of them produced a film I like, and it's like I didn't know he did that. And yes, it's just amazing.
It's such fun to read. There's several things you have in there. One is until you take the time to either present or write it down or essentially share it with others that you may not even know who's reading it, you don't feel that responsibility for being so careful to get the details right, to go and explore that full line that you need to explore. And I think that's something kind of wonderful, both about the technologies that we have today that we can do this, even if it's a conversation within the family, or well, the ability to share this as a community and that kind of insight. But wow, film especially, it's not that old a technology. Will we be doing this about ancestors who did live video?
I don't know, but the thing is, with my family tree, every line I look down, there's somebody interesting. And it's like, they might not be particularly close connections, but I look at them and I think, name rings a bell. Or if I put that name in and I find a Wikipedia entry for somebody and it's like, it says they were an actor, and it's like, what did they act? watched that, or it's like I've known that, and it's like I didn't know that we were connected. And there's all of these little lines appear, or it's a web that crosses everything, and sort of how people appear in it, and all the different connections that there are to that's the thing about family history. It's all about connections.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny. Here we are doing this across the web itself, the internet web, but um, thinking about family history as this multidimensional thing going back in time and in place and across combinations of interests and capabilities, sooner or later you start seeing these similarities to who you are. I mean, that how does that change you idea is something I've been thinking about a lot. And, it's confidence, it's resilience, it's other values. Have you thought much about that?
About what I might have inherited in terms of values and things like that,
Yeah, how the
or
study of your own ancestors. Yeah.
yeah, I often think about sort of the artistic side of things, or the investigative side of things. Like, I love books, and I know that one or two of my ancestors have had their own libraries and things like that. And I think, oh, that's interesting. I'm quite creative, and I do different things. So one of the things I've been doing recently is putting together some coasters as presents, and doing a little bit of research on them and making them personalised. I'm just thinking that's a nice little thing to give to somebody as a present, because you use it, you see it on a regular basis, and thinking about being creative. And these people that I've been looking at, that's a particularly creative part of the tree. So some of the people I talked about who were the writers and things previously, the writers and journalists, they're a bit further back in that tree. So it's quite interesting exploring all of that. But then I might equally find someone on another part of the tree, and then I think, oh, well, they're doing that, are they? And it's, well, that's interesting. And the careers that people have, and the industries that people are involved in, that's fascinating to try and find out more information about those as well.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting how when we look back, we are looking at the characteristics in ourselves that we
Mm,
either want or like or want to learn more about. And,
yes.
it's actually really healthy. I think it's really healthy. Well, I'm so excited about this program on the 21st. Anybody can register. It's of course free, and it's on projectkin.org/events. In fact, we have a number of fun events coming up that are brand new, built on top of what we've learned in the past months. So every program we do here at Project Kin, so far anyway, has been recorded and shared in projectkin.org and our forum at projectkin.org/forum, which is hosted on Substack. And all the recordings are free, along with some incredible tidbits and resources that our guests share. And you have been especially generous with all of these. I know I've used them to research my own family that extends into all across England, as a matter of fact. We have a couple of new programs coming up I'm very excited about in February and March with a team at One Place Studies.
Mhm.
That will be Janet Berry will be giving a two-part presentation of the 10-part process, the 10 steps to One Place Studies. And we have a number of other fun stuff coming up that's already hitting the schedule, including a special new project recipe coming up in December. I think it's on the 12th, with one of our uh, uh, longtime Project Kin members talking about her stories in fabric arts. Um, uh, so I look forward to sharing all of those and having everyone come in and see how that one's done. That one on, as I said, December 12th, which you can see on our project.org events calendar. Um, Features Linda Hines talking about her fabric arts, which is something she's had, mentioned a few times, and now really focusing on storytelling and fabric, which of course is a technology that goes back into history as, storytelling isn't new, just the ways
Well,
we
you
do it.
think of all the family samplers and things that you come across where people have done that, and little girls aged 10 or younger sometimes, and they've created
Yeah.
these lovely little heirlooms that we're fortunate enough to have. And yes, if you've
Yeah,
got some of
I
those in
have
your
one of
tree.
those. I do. I have one of those that not only is it from a 3X great grandmother, but it was a grandmother who finished it. So it's got three generations on it. And what she finished was the dating of 1822. And yeah, it's really precious heirloom. So all of these kinds of things are ways in which we share, including these live presentations with little previews of what's coming. So thank you so much for doing this with me, Emma. It's been a thrill, and I look forward to doing more of these, and we'll see where it goes. We'll say goodbye to the live stream now.
Thank you, everybody. Nice to see you, Barbara. Looking